All right, I wanted to speak on this because a few weeks ago I posted one of my Murph workouts. And if you don't know what Murph is, it's a pretty intense CrossFit workout where you complete 1 mile, you run 1 mile, you do 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 body weight squats, and then you run another mile. And you do this all as quickly as possible. And my average is probably 40 minutes to an hour every time, which is not by any means an incredible accomplishment. People who actually do Murph, regularly do it in 25 to 35 minutes. So it's by no means awesome. But I had a guy reach out and say, "Oh man, there's no way that you do 100 pull-ups in one workout." He's like, "I'm in the Army, and I score a perfect PFT and or whatever the Army calls it. I don't know, PFT. I have a perfect score, and I can't even do 100 pull-ups in one workout." And I'm like, I don't know what to say to that other than I'm sorry that you don't believe you can do 100 pull-ups in one workout. It's like I said, it's a hefty task, but it's not by any means an incredible feat. Do you have to work up to it? Yeah. Do I break it up into pieces? Yes. And that was the point I tried to make to him. Like, hey, I'm not doing this in one clip. I'm not doing this in like, a 2-minute span. It's over the course of the 40-minute to 1 hour workout. I'm breaking it up into sets of 5. If you break it down like that, if you break anything down, like a physical feat, any sort of fitness endeavor, if you break it down into chunks and piece it out into like attainable small accomplishments, there's very few things that are impossible. I mean, it's maybe I'm delusional for saying that, but it's almost a sickness. I don't believe I don't believe very many things are impossible physically. Maybe for time, yes, like setting world records and stuff like that, sure. But completing a task and just working until you complete that task, I don't see how you don't accomplish it. So yeah, that's the thing. It's like, just break it up. You can do that. You can do that. Like I said, I'm not a phenomenal athlete by any stretch of the imagination. I've worked my way up. Could I do it when I first started this workout? Absolutely not. Actually, and if you take too long off of doing this many pull-ups regularly, it's incredibly difficult again. Like, you have to work your way back up to being able to do 100 within an hour. Sure. But yeah, over the course of an hour, it's not even close to impossible to do 100 pull-ups for sure. I think most human beings could work up to it. I don't think it's unattainable for most people. It's it's just learning to piece it out like that in little chunks, 5 at a time, 3 at a time, whatever you got to do to get it done. And you go as long as it takes. So it's not like, oh, you have to get this done in 1 hour. Like, if it takes you 3 hours, then it takes you 3 hours, but the feat is not incredible. So that's what I was just trying to get. I understand it may be a hit to your ego, especially if you consider yourself physically fit, to see someone else do something that might not even be as physically fit as you do something more difficult than you've ever done. But it's for sure not impossible. And I assure you, my friend, you can work up to 100 plus. You could work up to, workouts where you're doing 200 pull-ups. I promise you. It's just a matter of working up to it and then also breaking it up into smaller chunks. And everything's this way. Running, that's how when I first started running, I couldn't run a quarter mile. You got to break it into little chunks, man, like 100-yard clips, like running for 1 minute solid, and then eventually that becomes 2 minutes. And then once you hit the 2-minute mark, and then you're like, I think I'm going to go for 3. And it's the same thing with pull-ups. It's the same thing with push-ups. It's the same thing with biking, whatever, man. It's the same. You piece it out and you just go little chunks at a time. You chip away at it until you complete it. So anyway, that's how I do 100 pull-ups every week during this Murph workout. Yeah, you can do it too.